How you guys doing? Tabor here with another coach's talk, and just really weighing on me today, man. I woke up and I was getting ready for the lake, and I really felt myself just kind of thinking on some things. And today I want to talk about adversity, because that's been weighing on me is adversity, man. A lot of. So I cleaned up my Instagram. I've talked about this a lot. I encourage you all to clean that Instagram up. Start following the business accounts. Start following the motivational accounts. Change your thinking. Social media can be positive if you let it. Change your thinking. But to shift gears into the adversity, this quote really hit me and it made me think about it. Sometimes you need bad things to happen to inspire you to change and grow. If you look back at your life, there's something that defines you. Something that defines where is the turning point. All right, why is this dude or why is this woman the way she is, the way he is? And I know for me, that turning pivotal point was when I was 10 years old. I lost my grandfather in '03. Fast forward 2 years, I lose two more grandparents. And then 6 months after all of that, maybe 8 months, I lose my biological dad. And when you start to see this, you see me shut down, and you see me. I don't talk at that point. I don't vent about emotion. I don't vent about feelings. I just kind of bottle everything up and let it let it loose. Fast forward some time where this is becoming pivotal is when I was in college. I'd come home. A guy, Josh Green, really looked after me, really helping me process these things, but finally able to let that go and finally able to grow from that time. Now, yeah, that was a troubling time, and it shook me and made me realize some things, but coming back and being able to let that go and facing that adversity finally has been able to help me grow. It's been able to help me through these things, because now you're able to relate to those people that's been through that. Now you're allowed to share the positives and of those. And for me, they're watching. I work my butt off every day to make sure that they would be proud. That if they were here today, they would say, you know what, we're proud of you. And that's about you facing your adversity. The rules of life: hunt or be hunted. So if life kicks you down and you're willing to stay there, it'll beat you. And Rocky Balboa said that best in his last movie. Life will beat you and keep you there if you let it. So that is where we're at. Yes, the quarantine sucks. Yes, these times are terrible. But there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not saying that you haven't been affected or a family member hasn't been affected, but it's adversity. And that's what life's putting you through. I have several friends, and I'm not going to use names, but I have one friend who, no matter what happens, that man just keeps pushing, keeps it pushing. It doesn't matter. He's been through it all. And I can honestly say that there's no one I know who's been through what he's been through and continues to grind like he grinds. But then I also have another friend who takes minute things, little small things, and then it becomes a problem all day. So it's all in your thinking. It's how you handle this adversity. Well, then the next time you talk to the positive, he's finding a new way to do something else, or he's finding the new innovation, or, he's making this. Well, then you talk to the person who's negative, and it's, oh, well, man, this, and this is going on. Guys, if we look for negative in the adversity, you'll never grow. You will never grow from looking at the negative in the adversity. Everybody has negatives. There's no doubt in my mind. Everybody has negatives, and everybody reacts to those negatives different. And that's okay, because we're humans. We're not made the same. We're made in our own unique way. That's great. But what we have to understand is find your positives. My grandmother hurt me passing away. That hurt me the most when I was 20. That was my best friend, my rock. That's probably the biggest adversity I'd say personally I've dealt with, was my grandmother passing. And I had to find the positive. I know it sounds cliche, but she's in a better place. She's happier. And when you look at it that way, and then you start to realize, okay, well, what are the things we talked about? What are the things that I can use that she told me and take it and run with it and go? And that's all I've done in my life. I've been told no. I've been told that I can't do this and I can't do that, and you'll never achieve this and you'll never achieve that. Well, sometimes you just got to put your head down and work and face the adversity and tell them, you know what, okay, that's your thought. Because nobody else's opinion of you matters. Nobody's opinion of you changes your character. Nobody's opinion of you will change anything about your life. I had a great conversation with a couple of my buddies, and it's funny to see how different people view you. You know, even if you think you were right, you're always a villain in somebody's story. So you have to do what's best for you, face the adversity, find your positives, and keep grinding, keep pushing. Because I promise you, there's always going to be better days. If you feel like this is the lowest of low and I can't make it through and I can't keep pushing, keep pushing. Because that means you're that close to your breakthrough. There's a relationship post that goes around, and it's, you know, you're one breakup closer to you finding your significant other. Which by any means, I don't care about any of that. But that's a pretty unique saying in, hey, even though some bad things happen, you're one step closer to finding what you want, right? You're one swing closer to your next home run. You're, you know, one pitch away from your next perfect game. You know, we never know. So we have to have our mental right. We have to face this adversity, because when you get on the mound, or when you are taking that free throw, or you're about to throw that pass, or you're about to take off from the blocks on the track, it could be anything. But you have to be mentally prepared, mentally tough, ready to face the adversity, and ready to take it on headstrong. Because life, you will hunt or you will be hunted. And that is a true statement. You either go out and you grind and you do everything you can possibly do to better yourself, to help yourself, and to put yourself in the best positions possible, no matter what happens to you. I've played with guys and been around guys who are the most talented in the room, but guess what? Their work ethic was piss poor. But then I've also been around guys who weren't very talented and worked their butt off that played collegiate ball. So it's all about taking the cards you're dealt, playing them to the best of your ability, and guess what? Sometimes you end up with the short stick, and that's okay. But you take that short stick and you go make it a long stick somewhere else. And you keep grinding and you keep pushing and you keep doing and you keep doing and you keep doing. And when you keep doing, that adversity starts rolling off that back and you ain't even worried about it. You're not even fazed by it. And that's how we have to be, unbothered. You have to be unbothered. Something I struggle with, especially through adversity, is letting my emotions get the best of me. And I know it's a problem for everybody. You know, not everything needs a reaction. But sometimes I give it the attention and I give it a reaction. And as I've gotten older and the more I've coached and the more I've been around the games, basketball, baseball, football, volleyball, you name it, you learn to deal with that. And you learn that, you know what, some things just don't even need a reaction. Because most of the time, you're kids. You're players. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do dumb things. And that's okay. But you got to learn from it. If you do the time or you do the crime, do your time. If you're getting punished, own up. All right, I made a mistake. It won't happen again. It's part of being an adult. That's part of being responsible. Taking responsibility. Taking responsibility for yourself. Taking responsibility in the adversity to face it. Guys, you all have a great weekend. I know it's a long weekend, and that's why I just needed to get that off my chest before I headed out. You all have a great Friday. And this was another Coach's Talk with Coach Tabor on adversity.